Hello everyone. In our 2-minute revision lesson, today, we shall be discussing the topic, field experiments from research methods. Field experiments are a type of experiment carried out in a natural environment, such as a school, workplace, or public space. The key difference from lab experiments is that the setting is realistic and more ecologically valid. Just like in laboratory experiments, the independent variable IV is manipulated and the dependent variable dV is measured. However, because the study happens in a real-world environment, extraneous variables are harder to control. This lowers internal validity, but increases ecological validity, which means the results are more likely to apply to real-life situations. A strength of field experiments is that participants often don't realize they are in an experiment. This reduces demand characteristics, so the behavior observed is more natural. The findings can also be generalized more easily to real-life settings, but there are limitations too. Because the researcher has less control over variables, it can be harder to tell if the IV really caused a change in the dV. Also, ethical issues may arise, especially around informed consent, because participants may not know they are being studied. Let's take an example. In Pilyavin et al., a subway Samaritans study, the researchers tested helping behavior on a real New York subway. The IV was the type of victim drunk or ill, and the dV was the number of people who helped, because this took place in a real train carriage. It's a perfect example of a field experiment. To recap, field experiments happen in real-world settings, still manipulate the IV and measure the dV, but have less control over variables. They provide realistic behavior and high ecological validity, but may include ethical challenges and lower control over the environment. Remember, the resource is always here for a quick, easy revision whenever you need a boost. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.